Hello friends, it's ShadowReady here. Today we are doing a top 5 list of licensed killers that we would love to see in Dead by Daylight. So this is going to be a purely opinion-based list, so if you do want to see somebody else, let me know down in the comments down below. Also, we are not including Jason or Pennywise. We're not including Jason because he's in another game, and we're not including Pennywise because we pretty much got him in the clown, just slightly different. So, with that being said, let's begin our list. At number 5, I would love to see Annie Wilkes from Misery. This would be a very unique character. You could pretty much play her off as almost like a survivor, but then like you have a special ability of where you don't have a terror radius until you click your left mouse or the action button on your keyboard or controller, and then you actually have a terror radius, and it brings out a sledgehammer. That would be one really unique ability, because at first survivors would think, hey, that's another survivor trying to help me out on the generator, and then all of a sudden she's attacking me. So, I mean, that's kind of the whole kind of point of Annie, is she was just kind of crazy to be honest with you. She just was like super nice, super helpful, and then she goes psychopath on you, and then she just murders you almost with a sledgehammer. And it just would be one of those very unique killers that would be almost meta-changing, because you wouldn't know if you can trust your fellow friend, survivor friend. Yes, you could kind of tell if you're up close if that was Annie or not, but from a distance, it could be just another survivor, you know? She could look and have the same type of model as a survivor. It'd be kind of cool. It'd be a very mental game for survivors, at least, so that's kind of the reason why I think Annie should be at our number 5 position. Alright, next up at number 4, I believe would be Annabelle. Now, I know this is not a very classic killer or anything like that, but it'd be a very, very unique thing. Annabelle is kind of like a spirited type of creature that could be in a doll form or can just control other things in general, but usually it's just a doll for the most part for Annabelle. It would just be a very unique type of character. It would almost be kind of like a blend between the hag and the spirit. Now, I totally get why they probably wouldn't bring her in, because we already pretty much have her, but it would just be kind of like a unique character that we could potentially bring in, because A, it's a creepy doll, because that scares the crap out of people, and B, you could probably do something with like teleportation or something like that, kind of like a, I don't want to bring in like a nurse, but like you have like fixed points where you can teleport, maybe to like a hook, or you designate somewhere to be a hook or a generator, and you're just like there being creepy and just watching them. That'd be just kind of like a very kind of unique style for her, and then of course you could have like some really creepy add-ons for her, like you could do duplicates of herself. You can just make some, or like duplicate as in like projections, kind of almost like the Doctor, as a perk. But of course that would take away from the Doctor, so I don't know if that would be the best idea. But of course, this is just an opinion-based type of list, and I just would think Annabelle would be a very unique type of character to the game. Even though she would be kind of a blend of the hag, the spirit, and the Doctor, it'd be still a very fun and creepy thing to go against. Alright, at number 3 will probably be the hardest killer to get in the game, but one of the most coolest and most excited killers that I would love to see in this game, and that would be Hannibal Lecter. He would be so cool to see a survivor getting chased with his mask on, you know? And his mores would be excellent, because he would be like killing people, eating their tongues, eating something like of them. His mores would be perfect. You have so many examples of that, and it's just so good. The only thing that would be kind of difficult is trying to figure out like kind of what his special moves would be in game. I would imagine probably the easiest thing to do is to just allow him to probably be kind of manipulative, and kind of also allow himself to change forms, because you know he's in some books and some movies he's allowed to do facial reconstruction. So you could play on that element too, of just him being able to disguise really well. But that's kind of the harder part about him, is he's more of a psychological killer. So I don't know if we could do like a perk where he like almost does like a Freddy Krueger thing and kind of entices people to do stupid things, or kind of like allow them to see things that aren't there, kind of like what the Doctor does. So that's kind of what I kind of have envisioned on him. Now, if you have any other ideas on how Hannibal would work in this game, please let me know down below, because I would love to hear your comments on this, because for me, he's personally probably one of the coolest characters that could potentially be in this game. It's just really, really difficult for him to actually work in this game almost, but just the idea of just having a masked Hannibal coming after you is just so, so cool. But once again, you're going to have that issue of just trying to figure out how to balance him, how to make him unique, outside of just killing people instantly. So that's just one challenge that we would have to have going against Hannibal, but it'd be really cool to see him in this game. And at the number 2 spot, I will have to say it has to go to Chucky. It would be really, really cool to see a small little doll, because that's creepy enough, running after you at really top speed. That would probably be his like little ability. It's kind of like a sprint burst type of thing that Survivor has. Just put it towards Chucky. Once again, it would be kind of hard to balance him out because he's just so tiny. But what we could probably do to contradict that is to be a bigger terror radius, or kind of do what we do with the Huntress, where he kind of like laughs maniacally in the background as he's about to get closer to you. Once again, his biggest challenge that you would have is just trying to balance him out on the height issue of him. Because that would be slightly, I feel like, overpowered, is just because he's just not that very tall. But once again, he is one of those characters that are very iconic for those horror movies. He's pretty much right there with like Jason and Michael and Freddy. It's just kind of like one of those characters which would be pretty cool to see in this game. Once again, balancing him would be super hard because he's just, once again, probably maybe 3 feet tall at the most. So that's going to be the hardest part about him, is just his height. Maybe you just have an ability where he can't hit you unless he jumps at you, and a Survivor can dodge it either way. So that at least could be one way to also kind of contradict the shortness, besides just the terror radius that I kind of already mentioned. But once again, Chucky would be great. It's just one of those iconic characters that we could have in this game. And once again, he's very iconic, would be a fun character to play. And then his add-ons would be super fun to do, because it could be a knife add-on, it could be like just like make his knife ability be more lethal or something along those lines, because or you could even bring in a freaking toaster. I don't care. It'd be so funny to see that. But anyways, that's why he's at number 2. He would just have a lot of issues to get into this game, or more like balancing issues, not so much like we don't know what to do with him. It's more just like balancing him out into this game would be the more troublesome part for him if we were allowed to have licensed characters in the game again. So, with that being said, that's the reason why Chucky is at number 2. And the moment that you've been waiting for, number 1. According to my opinion and some helps on the app Amino, I took a poll from there, and so that's kind of helped me get the number 1 spot for us. And at number 1, I believe we need to get Pinhead into this game. He would be super easy to get in this game because he pretty much meets the same criterias that like Michael Myers does, Freddy does. And he's got a unique ability. Pretty much his, preferred method of killing people is pretty much summoning hooks. Hey, there's a lot of hooks around. And chains to, like, just kill his victims, pretty much. So, he could use something along the lines for hooks. And that could be a perk for all killers, to be like a hook warner, kind of like for the crows or something like that. Or for him, he could even have like the hooks like attack. Like he can make one hook attack a survivor if they're within a certain range of the hook. That'd be so cool. Plus, you could use chains kind of like as a trap. Like you could trap off a certain door or a window to like at least down someone or something along those lines. Maybe not down someone all the way, but at least injure someone in the game. Also, it would just be so cool just to see his unique head in the game with all the pins in it, of course, because Pinhead, it has all the pins. Haha. Sorry, dad joke. Sorry. But anyways, he would be he's like one of those very iconic characters from the 90s and 80s. And once again, he has a lot of potential because he's got a lot of other supernatural abilities that the developers can use to use in this game. Mind control. He can do, I don't know, do other stuff. I don't know what else you wanted him to do, like his mind control, his hooks, his chains. But once again, his Mori would be excellent. It could be even a Mori that is on a hook. We've never seen this in the game before, and it would be a very unique characteristic for him that he has a Mori on a hook. That'd be so cool. I mean, technically every killer has a Mori on the hook whenever the survivor eventually dies, but overall, he could put him on a hook, drag him or something, that makes it super cool. That is why I'm super excited for if we had Pinhead in this game. Once again, guys, this was kind of a poll and of an opinion that I did from you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what I have come up with. Leave comments down below if you could think of like any random perks that you would see on any of the killers that I've kind of mentioned. And of course, I know licensing agreements that may not ever happen, but you know what? This is just for hopes and giggles and all that good stuff, right? So if you did enjoy this video, leave likes, comments, and subscribe. I did work really hard on it just to make sure that we get the right information for you, and have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye-bye.